Okay, hello. Welcome everyone to the aftermarket analysis session, just like every day. This is an aftermarket analysis session after the market closes, after the Indian market closes. We look at what happened with the order flow in Nifty and Bank Nifty today. Where was the interest of buyers and where was the interest of sellers? Okay, and we try to read the footprint properly. If you are new and want to learn order flow, and want to learn how to use GoCharting effectively, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. The link for the live session is uploaded in the GoCharting discount community, Telegram community, okay? Before 5 p.m. And this video is recorded. It is uploaded on GoCharting's Hindi channel, English channel, French channel, and in several languages. So if you are new and want to join the GoCharting community, the links to the community and all YouTube channels are provided in the description. You can join from there. Okay, so now let's look at today's Nifty to see where buyer interest was observed, where seller interest was seen. Before that, let's take a quick look at the volume profile to see what it was like. Where the volume profile was, yesterday this was the zone where the most wine selling took place. We had marked its low, which was the VPOC zone of the previous day. And for the past 2 days, it was the same VPOC zone in one place. We had marked this. In any case, if this breaks this VPOC zone, for the past 3 days, the market was sideways. It's VPOC zone we have. Okay, so it's simple. The low of yesterday's VPOC zone, the VPOC zone of the day before that, and the VPOC zone of the day before that, we had marked them. We also marked this line because there was a major planned resistance. Okay, so if above this line any order flow gives bearish confirmation, then we could also consider this line. And this was the volume note of the day before yesterday's market, okay, which was formed in the middle of this entire playing resistance. So with a simple line, you see, a simple confirmation of the volume profile was marked almost every day, as the previous day's volume, note, marking the previous volume, note, okay. Now, according to the volume profile, we have seen confirmations, seen lines. Now let's see how the order flow gave us confirmations here. Okay, just 1 minute. After this live session, questions and answers will also be addressed. So if you have any questions regarding anything, you can ask after this session. Okay, now we will try to read the footprint here and see where the buyers came in, where the sellers came in, and what happened where. Before reading the footprint, we should know about delta, because to read the footprint, we use delta as a helping tool. Now, what is delta? Delta tells us the difference between buyers and sellers, with plus for buyers and minus for sellers. For example, let's take the first candle of Nifty today. Okay, this is the first candle we have taken. Okay, now what is the delta value of this candle? This topmost line, right? This is the delta value. Let me make it a bit easier. Okay. No, the first candle, if we look at its delta, is in the green box and there is no negative sign in front of the value. So in 10 minutes, this is a positive delta, and a positive delta indicates buyers. So within this 10-minute candle, there were around 74,000 buyers more compared to sellers. Okay, meaning there were more buyers, so many more, that the next candle, again, has a positive delta. In this candle as well, there were more buyers compared to sellers. So many more buyers. Now let's take one candle. This candle has a negative delta. See, it's in the red box and there's a minus sign before the value. So it means there are more sellers in this candle compared to buyers. And how many more sellers? Around 10,000 more sellers. Okay, we have understood what delta is. Every candle has a delta. Now, how will we use delta to help us read the footprint? There are some candles whose delta is quite high, around 70,000, 90,000, or even 100,000. And there are some candles whose delta is very low, only 10,000, only 7,000, only 11,000, or just 2,000. We are considering both positive and negative here. Okay, only 8,000. So, there are some candles whose delta is very high, around 70,000, 90,000, or 100,000. And there are some candles whose delta is only 10,000, 2,000, 4,000, or 5,000. So the candles of the day have a heavy delta, whether on the positive side or the negative side. Within those candles, there is heavy buying and heavy selling. The candles with heavy buying and selling have the potential to move the market and in some way create support or resistance in the market. There are also candles where buying and selling have been quite low, and these are the candles where neither buyers nor sellers have much interest, and these candles do not seem to have much potential to move the market. So what we will do here is pick the delta of those candles whose delta is quite heavy. Okay. That means in Nifty, we will pick the candles with a delta above 30,000, whether positive or negative, and we will read the order flow and footprint of those candles. For example, the first candle has a delta above 30,000, around 70,000. On the right side of the multiply, there is a buyer, and on the left side, there is a seller. Okay. So within this candle, who is more prevalent in the first candle? There are more buyers. Okay. Which side are the buyers on? The right side. How much more? Quite a lot, around 70 to 75,000. So what we will do is, since there are more buyers, we will read the buyer's side and look at that particular point on the buyer's side where the most buying occurred. Here is the buying at 62K and the buying at 71K. On the buyer's side, these are the two particular places where heavy buying has occurred. Okay, so this buying will now create one support in the next candle, an even larger delta, around 90K. Again, we will read the buyer's side and see where the most buying has occurred. This is the place where the most buying has occurred. Now, one more candle and an even larger delta here. Okay, again, a positive delta around 100K. Now after this positive delta, we will look at the buyer's side to see where the most buying has occurred. Okay, look at this, 45,000 and this 48,000. Two large buyings occurred. So far, what we have seen is that as soon as Nifty opened, there was back-to-back large buying. The first buy happened here. The second buy happened here. The third buy happened here. Where has the most buying occurred? Look, every day there is large buying and selling in the first candle. So you can either skip the first candle, or if you trade, do it cautiously. Okay, the largest buying was 50 here, 45 here, this entire candle. Everywhere within this entire candle, there was large buying, 45, 45, gold, 50, 50. So these are two, 27, 25, 20, 28. Everywhere there has been significant buying. And this is the place where the largest buying has occurred, Tanding. Again, above 30K data, above 30K, above 30K. But if like here, the buying side was red, here the buying side was red, here the buying side was red. So Nifty is giving a clear direction that even from here, Nifty opened and the price moved up to here with continuous sharp buying. There is no scene of buying exhaustion anywhere. This is the candle with the biggest positive data, this one, and the next candle has its negative delta. And if we read the volume zones of these buying candles, nowhere has there been as much buying bid as there has been here. It's simple, there is buying here as well, even though it has a negative delta. But look, there is a very good buying of 66 to 30. What happened inside this candle is that buying has increased and sellers have also come in large numbers. But the next few candles are confirming that yes, with substantial buying, the price kept moving upwards. Okay, so there has been significant buying within this candle as well. If you are interested in a particular spot, you can mark it. This candle too. Okay, this will be better. Okay, so what we saw was that as soon as Nifty opened, there was continuous back-to-back buying. Now let's look at the delta of 19, the delta of 18, 17. Here the biggest buying happened at this particular place. Okay, so where is the pullback expected? Where the latest biggest buying occurred. That's the zone. Okay, and here the pullback came. A significant pullback occurred. Now during the pullback, let's see the extent of selling. Look at this. Buying has happened. 190,000, 70,000, 50,000, again 40,000, again 46,000. Continuous back-to-back superb buying. During the pullback, let's look at the delta. 19,000, very low. 18,000, very low. 11,000. Look, there are some candles with a delta of 120,000 and one with a delta of 118,000. But when it came to the pullback, there was only a delta of 11,000. And look at this candle. Again, there was buying of 137,000 during the pullback. It held. And within one more candle, significant buying was observed. The simple meaning here is that the most buying happened here. It came to the pullback, and there was no interest in selling because we are looking at the data. Compare the positive data here with the negative data, and any data below 30K is considered less significant by us. Okay, a decent pullback occurred. Again, another upside movement, and look at how much more significant buying happened elsewhere. 90,000 worth of buying occurred. The same usual buying activity. Looking at the buyer's side, the largest buying zones held on the next candle with no selling interest from the same point. And in the very next candle, buyers entered again. There was no candle that showed any selling interest. And once more, there was an upside movement and another candle appeared with a significantly large heavy delta. On the buy side, on this candle, again, did the same job of marking the buying. Now we saw the first such candle with a very large data. A very large buying happened within this candle. And which buying zones? Buying at 62, buying at 51. And after this buying, the price moved down. So that means we saw one thing where an attempt to buy was made, but this buying got absorbed here. Why did it happen? Look at the entire Nifty. Wherever buying was happening, the price was continuing to go up. Well, after that buying, pullbacks were happening. Buying happened again. The next candle held, passed, and again. And what is the difference here? Buying happened, and the price broke to the downside. So that means we saw one signal where buying happened, but that buying got absorbed. Okay, no, let's see further what and where we observe something. Again, a pullback occurred at one buying zone, in this buying zone, but it couldn't hold it for long. Why it couldn't? Even I don't know. One reason could be that a bigger buying created resistance here. See, buying happened at 78 as well, and the next candle went below it. Another big buying happened, and it went below that too. There was a pullback at the buying zone, but it couldn't hold and broke. And in the end, the market closed while taking a pullback there. So if we look at today's Nifty, what did we observe? Continuous buying, the biggest buying pullback. Easily with buying, no negative delta anywhere, only 12 candles had negative delta. The price moved well. Again, buying was observed. Again, the price moved. One zone was observed where buyers were absorbed, and after some buying, a decent rejection was also seen. So this was Nifty. Let's quickly take a look at Bank Nifty to see how things were there. Something was observed. Just like Nifty, Bank Nifty opened with a large neutral delta of 450, and buying occurred in the next candle, the candle after that, and even in the following candle. So if we mark the buying zones at 21, 11, and look here at 22 and 23, there were pullbacks. And during the pullback, selling occurred. Okay. However, the zone where the buying took place was not broken anywhere. It is easily holding. So it means that this selling happening is being absorbed by limit buyers somewhere who are again starting to hold without any selling interest. We saw small rejections here from the same buying zone. After initially moving up, Bank Nifty was completely sideways today. And even within this sideways movement, we had something from the buying zone with just 22 small rejections. Okay, that was about Bank Nifty. If any of you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask your question.